Hello, everybody, and welcome to this conversation that we will have with Women Advocacy Project. This is the month of March, a very, very exciting time for Dining for Women. As you know, we are changing our name, and we will be announcing this on March 6th, International Women's Day. You can go to our website and register for this event and join us in the celebration of rebirth. March 17th, we will have another event with CSW 65. Details are forthcoming. You can also look up the upcoming events on our Join Us tab on our website. Without further ado, we are so happy to have this conversation with Women Advocacy Project. We have two guests who are joining us from Harare, Zimbabwe, where it is well past 8 p.m. So we have Constance Mugari, who is the Executive Director of Women Advocacy Project. Makadi, Constance, how are you? We also have Akenga Mnyaci. He is the Deputy Director of Women Advocacy Project. Makadi, Akenga, how are you?
Fine, how are you, ma'am?
I do believe you have a presentation to share with us. Go ahead and share your screen and let's get started.
Thank you for having us, Vina, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to present our organization to you. Well, Women Advocacy Project is a registered non-governmental organization, not-for-profit trust for women's empowerment. The organization was created in 2012 by a group of women from different communities of Harare. We are at the moment fighting to end child marriages through empowering girls with skills and knowledge situated in the Republic of Zimbabwe, formerly known as Rhodesia, a landlocked country located in Southern Africa between the Zambezi and Limpopo rivers. We are currently working in 6 impoverished communities, namely Chitungwiza, Waterfalls, Epworth, Mbare, Wopley, and Icot, in the capital city, which is Harare, where poverty and unemployment are both endemic, driven by the shrinking economy and hyperinflation. Almost everywhere in the country, children living in poverty are the most vulnerable to child marriage, and girls from the poorest families are 3 times more likely to be married before age 18 than girls from the wealthier families. Zimbabwe has been in economic decline since late 1990s. The unemployment rate remains very high, above 90%. Most people are jobless and find it so hard to access daily provision. Those who have jobs are mostly underemployed. Well, child marriage has a devastating impact on the health, safety, education, lifelong ability of girls to realize a range of essential human rights. It remains one of the greatest barriers to girls' better future, leading to the end of their education in most countries around the world, including Zimbabwe. Child marriage brings a sudden and unnatural end to a girl's childhood and adolescence between imposing adult roles and responsibilities before she's physically, psychologically, and emotionally prepared. Marriage imposes social isolation on girls, bringing unwanted separation from their friends and family. Once married, girls are most likely to feel powerless to refuse sex. Well, in 2018, WAP recruited 5 girls to serve as ambassadors in organized clubs where vulnerable girls could learn about Zimbabwe law on child marriage and women's human rights, dangers of child marriage and reproductive health. We drew on Stand Up, Speak Out youth activism training manual put out by Girls Not Brides, which has been a guide in most of our girls' clubs. We have constantly seen that girls are the most effective educators about the dangers of child marriage, and when equipped with knowledge and confidence, they can be powerful change agents in their communities. We were encouraged by the success of the clubs and have seen a lot of changes in girls' lives. Since we initiated this program, none of our girls got married, and our plans moved on to train girls to make and sell soap, with the hope of giving them an economic incentive to remain in school and avoid early marriages. Since the training began in 2019, September, with financial support received from Action for World Solidarity and the Advocacy. To date, 2 clubs, Epworth, Chitungwiza, produced over 11,500 bottles of clean girl soap, which have sold for around $12,000 US. Half has been reinvested in the program, and the girls have shared the rest. Each girl received a $21 after each sale. This has made a significant contribution towards families' income, which can run as low as $1 per day. We would want to express our profound gratitude to Dining for Women for accepting our proposal. This grant, which we are receiving from Dining for Women, will help to expand the program to Mare and Waterfalls. We also expect that it will increase monthly production and income shared among the girls, as well reduce the prevalence of child marriages in Mare and Waterfalls community. Thank you so much, Dining for Women.
Thank you, Constance. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And we, as Dining for Women, are seeing this across the world. We are seeing that as communities are facing poverty, especially with COVID, this pressure to marry the girls off in order to relieve the poverty, have one less daughter to feed, or have less worries about the families. We are seeing it across the world. It is really something that definitely all of us do need to address. First, let me start. Akenga, you and I were talking about the history of Zimbabwe. Tell us a little bit about Zimbabwe's history.
Yeah, I'll just be short. Zimbabwe gained its independence in 1980, and all after independence, for many years, Zimbabwe was considered the breadbasket, and they had some very best hospital and education system within the SADC region, which is the Southern Africa part of the continent. Yeah, but after a few years later, the Zimbabwean economic system deteriorated within a very short period of time due to challenges brought by economic mismanagement and also political crisis. Today, we find in Zimbabwe there are shortage of jobs. Many people are unemployed. Many people are under serious problems with limited resources, and most cannot be able to support their children's education. This has brought many problems where girls can no longer be in schools. Most of them are dropping out of schools because parents can no longer be able to meet the demand of their schools. And that this is increasing the problem of child marriage in most communities where we are serving.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think everybody all around the world is learning that past glory, you cannot just sit on it. You have to maintain it. You have to feed it. You have to have economic systems and monetary systems and social systems that can sustain what works, right? And the world is changing so rapidly. Exactly. So Constance and Akenga, tell us more about the families the girls are from. The girls are your focus, but what are the families like?
Okay, the families in our communities we are working, they are like 7 to 9 members in each family. Most of those people are not working, especially the parents, they are not working due to our shrinking economy. And most of them, they've got small stock. We call musika in Shona, that's small stock, where they sell tomatoes and vegetables for them to enable them to feed their families. But that money is not enough because they are not able to feed the family and to cater for school fees, to cater for them to further with their children's school fees.
Absolutely. So the family clearly does not have assets. They don't have land to farm. They just have their homes and the kitchen gardens that they are trying to survive from. So
Yes.
you are bringing in an economic program for the girls so they can contribute to their families and also learn economic independence. Tell us how it's all connected to their schooling and their long-term plans.
Okay. The program that Women Advocacy Project is bringing to young women is to help them gain skills that they can then expose and do something that can be able to bring income for themselves and also support their families. And this is why we have come up with a soap making project, which first of all, we train them. After bringing them together, we train them for at least 2 months to acquire skills of producing soap and also working with chemicals. And after that, when they start producing their soap, they will sell their soap and then be able to have an income which they share among themselves. That income, when they receive the money which they sell soaps, they then either support those who have children, can support their children, those who have siblings, because some are from child-headed families, they support their siblings, and some go and pay school fees and enroll in schools.
Constance, you were saying that sometimes you're able to even encourage the girls who are mothers to go back to school, right?
Yes. By the time we started this income generating project, they gave us their request. Those with kids, they say they want to go back to school. And in fact, we have 60% of girls in our clubs who are not going to school. They are all school dropouts. We then take them back to school using the soap cells which they are selling. We are taking them to private school, those who have got kids, because the private school, they don't care about the age. Then those without kids, we are taking them back to secondary level schools.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I wanted to let all our members know that there are some deeper connections between the United States and Women's Advocacy Project. They have a fiscal sponsor in the Washington, D.C. area called the Advocacy Project, who send Peace Fellows to Zimbabwe every year. And I believe one of your Peace Fellows started a wonderful project that has connected the two countries. Tell us about it.
One of the Peace Fellows started the soap making project, and the other one started the quilt project last year, where girls did a wonderful quilt describing how child marriages affected the nation of Zimbabwe and trying to educate parents and their fellow girls on the dangers of child marriages. This is helping us to connect our girls with the US student girls.
Wonderful. So the girls have been making quilting squares. At sometimes, Akenga, you said they even started the quilting squares on HIV, right? They were telling the story of their lives.
Yes. Some is described the life that they've passed through, because some girls that you are working with are orphans. They no longer have parents. Their parents died due to HIV situation, HIV disease. And so they take time to describe that situations, the challenges they've been going through into their squares and tell the world. They also educate people around them the challenges that they've been facing based on HIV issues.
And was that the quilt you took to a conference, Constance?
Oh, yes, that's the one.
Where did you, what exactly did happen to that quilt? Can you tell us?
Okay, we took the quilt to the conference in Nairobi. There was a ICBD 25. We were taking this to advocate or to present our organization in what we do and what girls are capable of. They are wonderful girls and they are so creative. They made this quilt describing dangers of child marriage, describing child-headed families, describing how people are living in their marriages, how children, when they married young, how consequences are they facing in their marriages.
Absolutely. I think that is a wonderful project. I want to remind all our members that we have described this quilting project in the project fact sheets that you can download from the website. We hope some of you quilters out there might get connected. The high school is in Virginia, correct? And some of the quilting ladies are in the Washington, D.C., Virginia area. And this is how Women's Advocacy Project and their fiscal sponsor, the Advocacy Project, is advocating for these girls who are fighting for their self-determination, are trying to be economically independent and pursue their education. This is a wonderful project. We are rooting for your girls. We wish you the very best. And thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.
Thank you, Dina.